We've been in playoff football since it started, and that's
Yep.
that's the reality of with the 12-game playoff. My message every week is this is the most important game of our season because it's the next one. And we're going to get everybody's best, and we got to earn the right to make sure they get our best.
That's Boise coach Spencer Danielson, who, by the way, we haven't really gotten to the whole poaching coaches stuff. I don't really want to talk about it too much until after this game, right? Let's enjoy the season for what it is. But I will throw this out there. While Barry Odom should be top 5 on lots of lists, Spencer Danielson should be right with him.
He's great.
Right?
Yeah.
So I think there's a lot of Boise fans who are like, of course he's going to stay. This is a great place. Yeah, someone throws $8 million a year at him. And being part of the real in crowd,
yeah,
you realize Boise and to a little effect, UNLV are being slaughtered by these supposed, Power 4 led by the Big 12 commission who just said there's no way one of these group of 5 should be ranked ahead of us. There are at least 5 teams that I think would be inside of a 5-point spread from the group of 5 against the 2 teams playing for the Big 12 title. So let's cut this out. I don't even know what he's talking about. I mean, if you want to brag about your balance and you want to, I think it sounds stupid too. Our quality losses, win the games. If you want to do that, Urmac, you can do that. But shut the hell up. And I'll go even further. I know they're never going to do it because they never do anything. I'm not going to say that. I feel like some of the city's reps are left behind by the LVCVA.
Mm-hmm.
So they're still going to court the Big 12 to come here. But for Urmac, up yours. Hold all whatever championship or media day, hold it in some, JUCO, podunk town that most of your schools are in. You're not coming here.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I think to your first point about Boise State, I think they're also used to that, right? They've had to reload coaches ever since, going back to Dirk Cutter days, right? I mean, people have left to the NFL or to Power 5 at the time, and they seem to reload, man. They seem to always put somebody back in place who is ready and the right coach. I don't know anything about their administration, but they do a good job of picking the right coaches for that market. And I don't think everybody can make it there, but they got the right kind of mentality, the right kind of coaches. I watched a lot of Boise State this year. I didn't, it seemed like in all their close games down towards the end, they made every right decision. They made excellent clock management decisions. They did everything right from a coaching standpoint. So, yeah, I mean, if I'm looking for a coach, I'm looking there. I'm looking to Odom. I'm looking. Do you look at Tulane? Sure. There's a number of group of 5 teams that have excellent coaching.
Look, and when you bring up coaches, even before Dirk Cutter, right? Houston Nutt was there for a season. Dan Hawkins, Chris Peterson, just going down the list real quick. Brian Harsin. The thing about Boise State that it's had, because it's a college town and it's had such superiority with that football program, let's not forget, is money to pay the coach. We've never really seen a big paycheck for a coach until we saw Barry Odom. Barry Odom has taken this program to the next level and earned the money that he's making, where we haven't seen the coaches in UNLV's past make that much money. So now that they see that paycheck's paying off, I think that the money's there. So if Barry Odom were to leave, if he were to be poached, they also know that they're going to have a big nut to pay, but they also have the money to go out and get a big name coach to pay that paycheck.
Let me jump in for a second on Danielson. He doesn't really make a lot of money because he is a 35-year-old who really needed the job, so they lowballed him. Now, they're going to have to raise him this year, but he makes $1.1 million, which nice money.
Okay, but how many people have made over $1 million here in UNLV? I'm talking about UNLV right now.
2.
Okay, if that's a low ball,
and then
if that's a low ball at
Odom.
Boise,
yeah,
that's what I'm saying. They've
well,
but they've been paying big dollars. So if that's low, UNLV's just getting to that point. So now that they're at that point, they'll be able to continue to bring in big name coaches if Odom leaves. I'm not convinced he's going to leave.
Yeah. I'd say, they pay on the upper echelon of group of 5, but big money, they're not. And now Peterson stayed there a long time, and I don't think he ever made into the 3 or 4 millions when coaches were making 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 million.
But what okay. I'm
Yeah.
not comparing it to SEC schools.
Yeah, yeah.
My point was UNLV was never on the pay
Mhm.
structure that Boise State was. Boise State was paying $1, $2, $3 million. UNLV just started doing that.
Yeah, yeah.
So
I agree.
now that they can do that, if Barry Odom opted to leave, they can say, well, we know what it's going to cost us to get a big name coach to keep this culture going. In the past, what were they dinking around with? $300,000, $400,000, $500,000, $600,000?
I mean, you could take that across all of UNLV sports. All in every one of their sports, they're getting the sort of bargain deal. They're paying, I'd say, under average for all their coaches. I mean, let's face it, UNLV is a cash-strapped program. A big part of the decision to not go to the new Pac-12 was the Mountain West threw a whole bunch of money at them, and they're like, "We need that money." Like that's a fact, and that's not. There's a number of different factors to go into that. Number one, the school is not that old. They don't have generations upon generations of alumni who have been making lots of money for a long period of time to throw at the program. They don't have that history of winning, specifically with football, to get that a bunch of former NFL players to come back and contribute to the program. And I think the most significant factor that just doesn't get talked about is the state funding for UNLV and UNR in comparison to these other schools is fractional. It is minuscule. So if the sports don't make money on their own, there isn't this big war chest of money to throw into it. That's the difference. At Oregon State, right? If the baseball program is one of the top 5 programs in the country and maybe the best program in the last 15 years in the whole United States, they didn't make money for a whole host of those years. But they have a big war chest that they can contribute and ensure that they pay coaches like Pat Casey to stay for 20 years and turn into a winning program. Basketball does not make money there. They're not very good at basketball, although this year got a shot. I think we might be a tournament team. There's just a very big difference when you can't just look at university to university. You got to look at state funding to state funding, and Nevada underfunds K through 12 and it underfunds higher education across the board.
Justin Watkins, we're here at the Battle Born Broadcast Center. 766-1400 is the number to call from anywhere in the state of Nevada. We're seeing complaints, but at a much louder and widespread level, sort of like Florida State a year ago, right? When they got left out, even Ron DeSantis jumped in. By the way, was there a lawsuit?
Nope.
Nothing ever happened.
Nope.
Is it because it's not possible?
Right.
Okay, because if Ole Miss means business, like they're really mad. Miami means business. You've got teams in multiple conferences, then file some sort of suit. But I don't know who they would sue. Can't sue the NCAA. This is the Big Ten SEC thing. What do you do? Personally sue Greg Sankey for stuff he said? I mean,
it's a system you agreed to.
Yep.
You knew that these factors were not locked in, etched in stone, where there was no wiggle room. You know it was discretionary. You bought into it. And especially for like the Florida States and Miamis, you bought into it because you thought it would advantage you. It's so funny to hear those schools complaining because most of the time, when the decision was going to be made, whether they were going to be in or out, they were going to be in. The benefit was going to go, the discretion and benefit was going to go to their favor, not the other way around. That's certainly the calculus that they thought when they agreed to this thing in the first place, right? So it's not like they feel like they're being cheated. They feel like they're not cheating everybody else to their favor. That's really what it comes down to. And now they're complaining. But the bottom line is this is the system you agreed to. So unless you can point to something about those rules that were created that allowed complete latitude to this committee, something off the wall, some conspiracy to specifically harm them, you're not going to get it. And TV ratings and the product that goes on the field is a factor they can consider.
Is it arrogance or ignorance on the part of Brett Yormark, the head of the Big 12, that he's saying there's no way a group of 5 should be ranked ahead of his schools? Did he not look at the conference he was forming?
Oh, well.
And that Texas and Oklahoma were gone and that this was going to be the most – I mean, I remember them touting like this is going to be incredibly balanced and competitive. Well, you got it.
Yeah.
You're sorry. Your programs aren't in a position because none of them could, just lose one game. They beat each other up, and yeah, you're sitting in the 13 to 30 range. You have a lot of teams in that range. You don't have a top 10 team. Sorry.
Their conference isn't that good. I mean, let's just say it. Like the bottom two teams from the Pac-12 are two of the top three teams in their league this year.
Exactly.
Arizona State's at the bottom. Colorado's at the bottom. They go over there, and all of a sudden they're competing for Big 12 championships. And you just think that's like, well, what do you think that is? They weren't competitive in the Pac-12 for the last 10 years, those teams. I mean, Colorado was never competitive in the Pac-12 when they came over. From the time they came over, they were the most losing program in the Pac-12. They always, now the Deion thing is different. It is different, but the Arizona State thing is not different. I mean, they were a bottom feeder in the Pac-12. So their conference is not that good. Now, to your point, do I think it's arrogance or ignorance? I don't think it's either. It's posturing. I mean, he's got to say it. He doesn't believe it, and he's not being arrogant. He's got to go to bat for his conference.
He's got to
right?
make a stand.
He's
got to take a stand.
He looks silly doing it.
Yeah.
He has been the guy who everybody's pointing to going, this guy gets it. He's got it figured out. Look at how he survived and blew up the Pac-12, not the other way around when it seemed like that was going to be the case. But now he looks a little petty.
Very petty. 4 tickets to the home opener, Las Vegas Desert Dogs lacrosse against the Colorado team this Friday. Lee's Family Forum, AXS.com. AXS.com is where you get your tickets, but Griffin's got some freebies right now. Caller 7-364-1100.
Sign up today for a new William Hill Nevada mobile sports account, and you can earn a $50 bonus bet on top of your original $50 or more deposit and wager. The William Hill Nevada mobile sports app allows you to bet on the go from any iPhone, iPad, or Android device from anywhere in Nevada. Sign up today, and you will never miss another bet. With the largest wagering menu, the mobile sports app features live and play wagering on all major sports. For more information, official rules, and to see participating sign-up locations, visit williamhill.us. Must be 21. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Invest in tomorrow's talent pipeline and become a partner with Cristo Rey St. Viator College Preparatory. With a rigorous curriculum combined with a relevant work-study program, students graduate ready to succeed in college and in life.
This is Wendy Hodges-Kent with Junior Achievement of Southern Nevada. We've been working with Cristo Rey St. Viator since its inception and just signed up for our 6th year, working with over 13 scholars to date. We're so impressed with the students' professionalism and desire to learn. I encourage you to join us in partnering with Cristo Rey St. Viator.
Go to CristoRaySt.Viator.org today to learn more.
From our Christmas headquarters in Las Vegas, Nevada, we have an important announcement. We are the official short-term lender of the holidays.
Nearly half the population has a credit score of less than 600 or no checking account. And 1 in 4 over 21 use some type of short-term lender. What's my point? Try going to a bank to borrow a couple grand for a few weeks. They have no idea how to help you. And like it or not, that's the exact transaction that most people need. And we process hundreds of loans every day, most in minutes. We'd love to say yes.
That was Chuck, and he's offering up to $5,000 in minutes this holiday season with no fee to apply and a week of free interest to new customers. Stop by one of our many locations, apply online at don'tbebroke.com, or apply over the phone with one of our DLC elves. Happy holidays.
Reload means if you pay below 1 week or less, the interest is free. You restore required to repay the principal amount. Licensed by the Nevada Financial Institutions Division. Customer must meet the normal loan qualifications. For review loan qualifications, visit us at don'tbebroke.com. Certain limitations may apply. Loans are subject to approval.
What if you could hear your favorite song for the first time again? Introducing the all-new, reimagined Nissan Kicks. With an available Bose Personal Plus sound system that uses speakers in the headrest to create a 360-degree listening experience. You've never heard anything like this. Reimagine your music and your drive. Experience the all-new, reimagined Nissan Kicks for yourself at nissanusa.com today.
Available feature. Bose is a registered trademark of the Bose Corporation.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm. If you own a timeshare and you want out, you need to get the facts. Wesley Financial Group and its founder, Chuck McDowell, have helped over 40,000 families cancel their timeshares permanently, and he may be able to help you too. Call right now. Chuck will send you a timeshare exit information guide free, explaining how your timeshare works and all your options for cancellation. You want to call Wesley Financial Group, 800-761-0000. That's 800-761-0000. Once Once again, 800-761-0000.
2, get down.
Now back to Justin Watkins with Cofield and Company on ESPN Las Vegas and ESPN Reno.
Would have made the difference in the championship.
All right, let's get to a couple legal takes and then our eye on sports gambling. Justin Watkins is with us. It's Cofield. It's Willie G. I don't like this topic. But it is interesting because some sort of precedent has to be set because it's Armageddon right now. We'll tie this to the San Jose State women's volleyball team, what Boise State did, and schools like Utah State did, to golf. So golf is putting in a rule change.
Yes.
Is this a cover-all? Describe what it is, and does this cover all bases?
So the rule is that you cannot play on the LPGA Tour unless you were born a female, or if you went through transition therapy prior to having male adolescence, male puberty. So that's their rule. They've stated that they looked at this from one perspective, and that is competitive advantage. We looked at the science, we looked at this, and we said, okay, at what point is there a competitive advantage for a transgender athlete that would now participate on the LPGA? And they said we took all the politics out of it, we took everything else out of it, and they acknowledged, will this change in the future? Probably, as more information comes out, but we think we've hit the mark today. I don't like it. Yes, they hit the mark because they're consistent with the Olympics. The Olympics has taken that stand. They're consistent with the NCAA. The NCAA has taken, they're consistent with where the NCAA is likely going, which would be consistent with the Olympics. But from a policy standpoint, I don't like it because you're creating a deadline for a child, literally a child, has not gone through adolescence, to make a decision on their gender identification and going through therapies before puberty. And I don't like that approach because maybe there's this politics into it. I don't think that that's a wise move to encourage that decision, promote that decision that early on. I'm not saying that I'm not saying that there aren't certain situations in which a family and the group and the child feel like it is absolutely necessary to do that prior to puberty, but to make it an incentive to do so, I think is misguided. I think my perspective is you should be born a female, and that's it. And I understand that that's not wholly inclusive, but I think that that is the only fair way to truly address this without creating some odd public policy that has the potential to damage kids irreparably. So I understand that they say as long as it happens before puberty, there is no competitive advantage. But I'm sorry, you have to consider the public policy aspect of this too. Not politics, but public policy. What incentives are you creating with your rule, and how are people going to react to that? You have to consider the effects. And I just don't think that policy does that. I understand that my position may leave some transgender athletes out of women's sports and force them into men's sports. I acknowledge that, but I think that's the only fair way to do it.
15 seconds, really quick, and we can build on it. So, as an example, a Boise State women's volleyball team, to be part of the program, they'd have to go through a test. Every player.
Sure.
And that's legal.
Why wouldn't it be?
We'll build on it.
Where can you find jewelry